Well, hello there guys, and welcome to another Scourge of War Waterloo battle. This time we are actually going to be commanding a much larger force. Pretty interesting here, and we're trying to go ahead and attack the enemy's left flank. Now, I assume the enemy's left flank is going to be over here on the left for obvious reasons, so we're going to go ahead and commence the attack. Now, like I said, I'm very new to this game. Unfortunately, in our Long Live the King battles, we actually lost, which is really unfortunate, and I'm still kind of learning how to do certain things. So one thing I'm going to do is go ahead and order my men to start a forced march over here. That much I've learned, which is pretty awesome. We are controlling a massive amount of Napoleonic troops, guys, and this is really going to be the biggest battle I have tried so far. So to say that I am nervous would be an understatement. We're going to go ahead and actually get these guys to form up here, a little bit ahead of our cannons, and eventually we will get into combat with the enemy. This is, of course, the first stage, the mere preparation, if you would, and we need to make it as successful as possible. Let's go ahead, we'll grab these guys. I'm going to go and move them up towards the tree line as well, in the same formation as the rest of my men. And really, we're just doing a basic infantry movement forward. And I'm so amazed, guys, how in this game you get to command so many different troops. It's awesome. Looks like our cannoneers have already spotted some British and or possibly German infantry approaching us right now. So we're going to do everything we can to get to it and deal with it, of course. Looks like we may also have some cavalry units over here. Unless, no, these are just also more infantry units. I'm just amazed by how many we have. And really, right now, we need to spot the enemy. You can see them already coming and approaching on this side of the battlefield. We can tell this is going to be a major engagement, guys. I can also see some British troops in this wooded area. And obviously, when our guys get into position, they'll be able to go ahead and start assaulting them. Now, I'm not running for one reason and one reason alone. I'm not trying to waste the stamina of my men. Otherwise, I would immediately start taking off here in an effort to get as many kills on the enemy as possible. We also have to keep in mind that this is a wooded area, so I wouldn't be surprised at all if the enemy has some more men in this location. In fact, I can already see the outline of some British troops. So here we go, guys. This is definitely the enemy left. Our men are approaching. Vive la France! The 1st Division of Infantry is getting there too. And let's get a quick look at where these guys are headed to. We may need to stop a little bit before. In fact, we may halt right here. I think this is close enough. And again, I'd like to get just a little bit closer, at least over this hill, so that we're basically looking down at the enemy, if that makes any sense to you guys. Alright, on to battle then. They're approaching a reasonable distance, and I think this is about good enough. Let's go ahead and call a halt to this particular setup. At this point, my general is probably going to try to take cover. I want him to move back a little bit. And here I'm going to micromanage just a bit, because I have some ideas on how to react to the enemy here. So we'll go ahead and we'll start moving forward. I don't want to send this entire division into combat yet. I just want to send a few key troops there. I also want to make sure that our artillery can still fire on the enemy. Let's get this guy sort of at a formation like that. Now, we could mess around with some more with the formations, but that's going to take a while. So we don't want to do it right now. We want to just get an idea of what the enemy has in store for us, and then we can worry about moving formations, things of this nature. Let's go ahead. We'll also get these cannons more behind us here, so that they're aiming directly at the enemy. Okay, here we go. We're getting closer and closer. Sooner or later, our men are going to have to start opening fire. But look at that. The enemy is pulling back. Is it possible that maybe they're going to go to this large building over here? Very much so. We want to get there quickly. And in this game, one thing that I'm not exactly crazy about, but I still love the game itself, but when you're actually attacking a fortified position, you cannot just rush in and take over. You really have to actually get the guys out by firing at it and eventually forcing them to leave. This causes a lot of problems, obviously, a lot of logistical issues. Look at the movement of these armies, guys. Our massive Napoleonic horde, I like to call it, is moving forward into position here, ready to defend France. And it looks like some of the commanders have even taken it upon themselves to order the units to go ahead and run. So ahead of us, we have a major conflict. We want to take a look over here. We need to take this position here. So we do want to go ahead and continue moving forward. We're going to have to cross an open field, and this open field is going to be tough to cross. Let's not lie to ourselves. But we need to attempt to do it. So let's go ahead. We're going to grab these guys. The Baron Charles-François Bourgeois. We'll move them up here, and we'll order the rest of the men to move with us. These are major generals. We're not just commanding tiny divisions anymore. We're commanding an entire group of units. Let's grab these guys. We're going to go ahead and have them move up too. Same formation. No need to run, like I said before. We don't want to rush these guys. Up here too. Same formation. And eventually, we are going to get a victory merely by our movement, hopefully. Our tactics moving up on the battlefield. Of course, this is dangerous. This is where the battle is really going to start coming to fruition, if you would. Okay, it's saying over here that we actually have some engagements over here. It's possible that it's just coming from the building. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that's exactly where it is coming from. So these 3 units are going to go ahead and try to take this building. It would be a major bonus if we could take this building, because then we could use it as a firing position against the enemy here on the field. But, you know, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. That's going to be a pretty tough thing to do. I also want to grab this unit here. It's going to assist us here in assaulting this building. Back in these days of Napoleonic combat, it wasn't so easy to simply rush into a building. You literally had to fire at it and try to dislodge the defenders with artillery, rifle fire, etc. These guys have gone far enough. Let's halt them here, and they can commence firing. Prepare to fire! Everyone's getting into position. Like this line fire here. Here we go. Beautiful. So the assault has commenced, guys. Our guys are trying to break down the British defenses in this fort. It's going to be a task for sure, but we've got to do it. And we've got some more reinforcements on the way to assist us in that endeavor. And once we actually break them out here, if we manage to, of course, we can start moving on these guys over here on the left flank. Let's see how close our men are to leaving this area. Beautiful. We also still have a lot of reserves back here. I haven't decided entirely what to do with them, but I'm guessing the best idea is to go ahead and start moving them up. Let's see. I need to find the correct general. I believe this is it. This is merely a cannon. Let's grab that. We'll grab the rest of our major generals over here and start moving them towards the battlefield as well to provide some assistance for our men. Let's grab these guys. This is our artillery unit. I'm going to move them up because there's no reason for them to stay all the way back here. And we'll create a artillery line. This will really allow us to spot the enemy and hit them far away. So these guys are moving forward. Major offensive, of course. I'm going to grab these guys too, and we will move them forward as well. Everybody is going towards the battlefield this time. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait till we actually get into some conflict here. Nice little gunfight, because this is going to be a real test of just how ready we are to face the British and German forces that defend this area here. Let's go ahead and take a look over here at the building and the fort and see if we are getting any progress. At least now all our men are firing. You can see a ton of Frenchmen trying to just fire those muskets in that building and dislodge the enemy, and it's working out pretty well. If we take a look here, we're already getting some kills, some actual enemy casualties just by firing. That's how effective our fire is. In fact, this unit has killed 7 of the enemy with only 1 unit lost, which means that their defensive bonus is not working out so well for them with this overwhelming amount of firepower we have. Alright guys, it looks like we have gotten into our first situation in combat. Our men are a little shaky, but we will get them soon into a decent formation. Let's go ahead and grab this guy, move him over here, because we know that they're attacking from the left flank too. I'll also get this guy and move him over here. And again, you guys have to keep in mind, I'm a novice general at the game, very new to it, and it's going to take a while for me to really learn the rules. But we are approaching the battle now. We're actually engaging the enemy at this point, and what we really need to do is just make sure that we keep them off our backs. Here we go. We've got some skirmishers approaching. Not going to be very kind to them. Eventually here, I want to move this guy over here. I was even tempted to run with him, but you know what? I won't do that for now. With this guy here, we really just need to adapt to what the enemy is doing. So I know that they have enemy reinforcements over here too. We want to just make sure that they don't overwhelm us, close us in some sort of fishhook formation. That would be a serious problem. But it's amazing that the battle has already commenced, and men are falling on all sides already. All right, here we go. This is a good place to go ahead and halt these troops. So our men are pulling back, and probably a good idea. The enemy has an uphill advantage at the moment. Eventually, we may consider going ahead and doing a charge to dislodge the enemy here. Right, beautiful. More men on the way. I'm going to go ahead and drop them there. I want to make sure my general is back. I don't know why he insists on going all the way up here. Not a good idea. Alright, here we go, guys. A ton of allied troops on the way, all going towards the enemy locations. We should be able to get a pretty good advantage on them in terms of men, firepower, etc. But it all depends on how these guys start setting up for these formations. It's good to see that they're already spotting the enemy and opening fire. Let's make sure that this unit also is going to stay fairly close here. Let's take a look over here on this left flank. Beautiful. Our men are in serious combat. Okay, almost missed this. I don't like that. We've got some British units encroaching on our lines. We may even be time to call a little charge here. I think that's pretty gutsy of them to keep one single unit to try and deal with us. So let's go ahead and move these guys in. And I think I'm going to attempt a charge on that left flank. Let's go ahead and see. Move these guys a little farther up if we want. Boys. Alright, we're going to move up more guys. The attack must continue. What's going on here on the left flank? So our men are getting to this position very quick, which is probably a good idea, all things considered. And they're going to reinforce what looks to be the 1st Battalion, and hopefully provide some awesome cover fire. Let's go ahead and actually get them to move fast. Force march. I really want them to support that unit. I don't want that left flank, falling apart before we even have a chance to use it. Let's move these guys up. Oh, are they already shooting? Beautiful. So they've already spotted this enemy infantry approaching, and we are truly in some serious combat here. All right, I think that's far enough. They should be able to spot the enemy from there, and indeed they have. They're getting into their line formations. Let's make sure we don't have any more reinforcements to bring to the battle. In fact, I may bring one of these units that we're using to attack the fort to reinforce these guys over here, because that fort's going to fall eventually, or at least I hope it does. We never know for certain in these sort of conflicts. Okay, beautiful. At this point, I'm just worried about enemy troops that can be flanking us here, so I'm going to move these guys forward. I'm going to move these guys forward, and these guys as well. We don't need that enemy flank at all. It's not helping. Beautiful. Right now, the enemy line is definitely feeling the absolute pain and suffering inflicted by our muskets. Look at all of them dropping over there on the other side. We've got artillery fire also coming in, very effective. Maybe a good idea to go ahead and bring my artillery even closer. We had that one artillery battalion that we did bring pretty close, and it's doing a great job. So why don't we go ahead, grab the rest of these guys, and move up. I don't see any reason why not. As you can see, these guys are already firing over here, and they're doing a tremendous amount of damage. So let's try to get the rest of these guys to move up too. Beautiful. And we even have what looks to be even more infantry back here. I'm going to keep them as reserve units, so I'm just going to move them up little by little, because as it stands right now, we control the battlefield. Yes, our formations are a little bit sloppy, to say the least, but, they're working. So I am a new general, like I said. You're not going to see the really nice line formations that you see with really experienced Scourge of War gamers here with me, but I try to make it entertaining either way. And it looks like even though the enemy has an uphill advantage right now, our men are returning fire and doing a lot of damage here to the enemy troops. We can already see them dropping quite a few of them actually. And we may even consider a charge on this right flank. Maybe we can hit the right and left flank at the same time with a charge, and actually manage to get some really, really nice kills. right now, we're holding the enemy for sure. We should probably pull this guy back into a little bit of a better formation, but they're certainly not pressing us off this area easily. And in fact, a few of their units look like they're about to possibly start running. Let's get this guy to move up, and I am going to commence that charge on this unit right here. I'm not going to do it this particular Let's Play, guys. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to post down below, and we will continue this awesome battle, and hopefully get a victory for the falls. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care, and always remember to have an awesome